Hi, Sarah Scalpel here. I'm doing the Goth Tag like I've seen my friend Emily do. She tagged me, and I'm gonna talk about her, mention her again, and put her link to her channel down here so that you guys can follow her and everything and help her out, help us two spoopy chicks out. So here goes. Let's see. 1. How long have you been goth? Well, I've dressed kind of alternative since like the 7th grade, since middle school. But I really want to dress and live it more often now. Like now that I have a job that kind of allows for that, now I might be getting a real day job where I might have to tone down like my stuff and just leave it to my makeup or something, or a few accessories here and there. But even if I have to be low key at work, I'm still gonna be goth. But I'm also kind of new to dressing so goth now. Like I've never been able to wear stuff like this and everything. Like I've kind of had to tone it down and been like kind of like secret goth. Like I was more punk when I was younger. How was I introduced to it? That kind of leads into this one. How was I introduced to goth? My friends since middle school. Again, we were first of all Ren Fair nerds and fantasy geeks. Like when Lord of the Rings came out, we were writing fan fiction. We were that kind. And now it's funny because the one's an English teacher, so that fits her very well. But that led to wearing historical clothing, like corsets and everything, and dressing up fancy, and we always loved that, and acting and modeling, we were always playing dress up and everything like little girls do. And then we met this girl one of my friends met this girl who was into AFI, Fire Inside, old school AFI. Like, she got me into heavily listening to Black Sails and The Art of Drowning, and I love that. And we were more punk, safety pins, that kind of stuff, but we also would wear black corsets, whatever we could get at Hot Topic, or whatever we could find at like thrift stores and stuff, and things like TJ Maxx and Ross. That was one of my friend's secrets. She would get stuff and repurpose it, sew it, alter it. And also, how was I introduced to goth? My friend Emily Lestrange, like I mentioned, she's very much into it, has always been since she was younger. And she kind of pulled me into it and kind of made me see, oh, there's a way to wear this stuff and not look like, a middle schooler again. Like, I'm trying hard not to do that. Like, there's high-end goth stuff that I want to get. Ooh, I'll get into that. 3. What sub-genres of goth would I put myself in? I kind of not am familiar with all the different sub-genres. I kind of watched something a while ago that had different sub-genres, but I definitely like the classic goth, like what I have on now, my witchy dress. I like dressing witchy, anything witchy. Victorian, I really like historic goth, steampunk, or going like goth steampunk. That's fun. I'd love to try pastel goth sometime. Maybe get like a wig or hair clips or something for like the pastel goth look and try that, because I love everything cutesy too. Horror if it's a subgenre of goth, but like I have this necklace, it's like little fake teeth that are bloody, and like I love stuff like that. And the new wave goth stuff, I love wearing all that. I love how all that stuff's being made now. I find it and I'm like, ooh, get. I also like the hot couture goth look, like on the runway, and how like designers are actually sometimes going goth. Vivienne Westwood stuff. Who else? Shout out to like Gwen Stefani with her Harajuku stuff, like that stuff, like it's like borderline goth. Steve McQueen, I think, did goth stuff, hot couture kind of stuff like that, like stuff that looks like really pretty. I like the really pretty goth stuff. 4. What is the basis of goth? I think it's just like liking dark things, loving the color black, dark, loving horror maybe, and finding beauty where others might not find beauty. And also perhaps maybe a little bit being prone to depression and being sad a lot. Because I've always kind of sided with that, like reading Edgar Allan Poe. I read a lot of Edgar Allan Poe back in the day, and yeah, that definitely shaped I tried to write like Poe stage. 5. Dislikes about goth. The strange looks you get from people, or the jerky comments you hear, I get that sometimes just dressing up for events that people don't know that I'm going to. It's like, I'm dressed up for an event, clearly. But yeah, it's not Halloween yet, but there's this thing going on, even though it isn't Halloween. Like, why do you gotta say something to someone who's dressed up? Like, I don't know. How expensive the nice higher end goth stuff can be. I wish things were cheaper, or I need more money, basically, to afford all the nice and expensive clothing and stuff. I've seen how much Emily will spend, and I'm just like, I can't justify that. I spend a lot on my work clothes, but which I'm glad now I can wear this pair of shoes with this dress that I'm wearing. I'm like, it goes really well. I'm wearing it. That way I can justify spending all that money on those boots. But I spend a lot on my work clothes. Well, not the outfits usually. The outfits are cheap, but on shoes and certain things for work I can justify, but for no reason, it's harder for me to justify. And it's hard to find other goths in the US here. Like, we seem to be speckled about. Like, the fact that we can meet up with some and all that is nice. Yeah, like, I have a couple friends, like, now, the one in South Carolina, her, Sing Queen, she's funny. She's new to goth too, but she seems like a sweetheart. I can't wait to meet her and hang out and stuff. We'll do a collab maybe. And my friend Emily obviously just moved to Florida. Well, I might be moving to Florida, who knows. Oh, that professionally it's hard to be goth. I feel like I can't show up to an interview dressed up like this. Like, I will not get, like, I had to get rid of my green hair. As much as I would have liked to keep it, it was expensive. It was a pain in the butt that I had to go to the stylist for it, but also I couldn't get a job with green hair. Like, I have to have, like, maybe I might go black, but I do want to get more wine red in my hair, and that's, like, acceptable. Like, I don't think anyone would pass on me for that, but, like, my roots are kind of more wine red. The rest of it's kind of light, because we just dyed over the green. Yeah, I kind of hate how I have to tone it down at work, how I feel like I gotta be, like, two different people, but in my personal life versus my professional life, like, we have to be two different people because people might not accept a goth person. The one who dresses like we do, like all, like, the black makeup and everything. It's scary to some people. Oh, there was one time, I have one story though, I decided to wear my one pink shirt that I have with skulls and crossbones and little hearts on it, and this is a shirt I'd had since, like, middle school, and some other girl also who was like a year younger or something had the same shirt too and would wear it to school. And it was kind of almost preppy. It was like preppy goth kind of style. I would kind of try and get away with that, so I kind of looked more normal, so people weren't so freaked out or wouldn't give me such crap for dressing in a certain way. Well, I wore it one day to work at my library that I used to work at. I used to be a librarian, yeah. But that's I'll have to go into that another time. But I was wearing that shirt, and this woman came in and she was super Christian-y, judgy. I mean, we got along. She liked me because I always had good suggestions for books for her. So, and I'd always try and, I knew what she liked, and I'd try and find something that she might like, and I'd be like, okay, try this. Like, okay, you like this book, here's this. And I'd try to make good conversation with her. She was deaf as a doorknob, but I had to write everything out for her. And she had to read it, and she would, like, shout it back to me, and, like, we're in a library, please be quiet. Like, I know, like, she needed hearing aids, poor woman. She was nice but judgy. Well, I was wearing this shirt, and she came in and saw me, and she's just like, that's an interesting shirt. And I know her use of the word interesting was, like, kind of a dig at me. It was kind of a dig. Like, she didn't like it. Like, she thought it weird that I had skulls on me. And it's like, they're little, like, you can barely notice it unless you really, really look. It was like, okay, whatever, woman, judge me for what I wear, even though it's pink and cute, and it's not like I'm wearing, like, this. Like, if I walked in like this, she would just die, I'm sure. If she knew, like, that I'm a witch and everything, she would just die. Because she probably had nothing but the nicest thing to say about me. Anyways, and that takes me to number 6. What do my parents think of it? Definitely when I was younger, and even still now as I age, my dad really doesn't like it. He probably wishes I was normal, or he likes when I pass for normal. When I put on my normie face and wear my normie clothes. But he thought I was gonna scare kids away at school, which I was like, yeah, I'm gonna scare away the ones who don't want to be friends with me anyways. I don't see the problem here. Like, I had the friends I wanted to have, we got along, we were the weirdos, but just like my pendant says, we are the weirdos, mister. Like, we were the weird kids, but we were also band geeks and nerds, so, and we were smart and we were pretty, so no one really messed with us. I think it was because we were still kind of pretty. We all had our own specific look about us that people left us alone. They knew we were on the right path. It's like we weren't Satanists or anything. We weren't trying to be that. So, my mom, however, is fine with it and was cool with me, like, learning to express myself. And she's like, okay, if I got a weird artsy kid, that's fine. She still loves me and I love her, so yay, love you, Mom. And love your new boyfriend, and things are good between my parents despite them being divorced, so that's good. Like, we're still gonna have Thanksgiving together. That's good to know. But yeah, Dad may now say I'm too old for it, but I can dress my age and still be goth. And like, there's ways to dress goth and not look ridiculous, I think. So, or just you just don't give a shit. Like, you know, on my days off when I'm not at work or something, when I'm not like when I don't have to pass for normal, like I don't care. This makes me happy. I'll look and dress how I want and do my makeup and everything. If anything, it's a lot of work that I put into this and everything, like a lot of the people do who do dress goth. So, 7, eyebrows or no? Right now, I like my eyebrows, I really do. Like, they're like gorgeous and like they're a pain in the butt. I have to get them waxed, but I really like my eyebrows right now. But I might possibly try shaving them at some point just to see what I look like and drawing them on and seeing if I could do that. I don't know how much I'll keep up with that, but I'm always up for changing up my look and looking like something different and trying the shaved eyebrows. So I guess maybe I'll get with my Halloween costume, which I'm not going to tell you about until there's pictures and evidence, until I've actually gotten it done. I'll get an idea of what I'll look like without eyebrows, and then like putting eyebrows like up here or something. So we shall see. Number 8, favorite band. I'm probably gonna get crap because I don't know a lot of goth stuff, but well, I guess some of my favorites here might be goth. Like, it's borderline goth, maybe it's borderline emo. But goth was more, I feel like, an 80s kid thing, maybe a 90s kid thing, and like by 2000s it was like all emo or headed there. And I think right about the time I was like middle school, high school, around that age, like it was right before emo, and it was like emo was just taking a foothold. So a lot of my favorite bands that are kind of maybe make me goth, names I'll throw out: AFI, that I grew up with listening to a lot. Evanescence, like my dad even liked Evanescence and was like, oh, you should sing like her, you should have a singing career because you can sing like her. And I'm like, oh, like my dad does support me sometimes with something, so I'll give him that. That made me happy. Like, he even liked Evanescence. He loves the song My Immortal. Yeah, my parents both love that. They're like, oh, this isn't bad. And like, well, because it's like Evanescence was low-key Christian rock, like yeah, Breaking Benjamin and stuff like that. My friend was really more into that than I was, but I sometimes like some of it. My friend got me into Epica and Emily Autumn, and oh my god, I love Emily Autumn. I would consider her like goth. She's like goth alternative. She's awesome. Like, I got to meet her, and I had a VIP ticket once, and I'd love to meet her again and everything. It was great. I was like the last VIP person to meet her, and I had to show her my tattoo, and I whipped it out. I was wearing pants and a corset and everything, and I whipped out my tattoo, and she's like, yo, I'm getting someone naked over here. I'm like, I freaking love that. I saw her Fight Like a Girl tour. That was super awesome. With my friend, now Liz, I should say Liz. She took me to, and she had been to other Emily Autumn concerts. I didn't know she was such a fan. I was like, yes. I was like, I will go with you to Philly and we'll do this, and yeah. she had a car at the time or something, or did I drive her? I don't know. I forget whether I drove or she drove. But so yeah, I loved Epica and Emily Autumn, and those were like memes from back when I was like on my iPod, and I had like an iPod too. I sound old. I'm older than Emily Lestrange, so my boyfriend, Tyrannicidal Maniac, just introduced me to the bands Indica and Catra, and I'm like, how did I not know of these bands before, especially Indica, because apparently it's like fairy metal. Oh my god, I love the fairy metal. Like, I am all about that. I wish I could, I like want a fairy metal band now. I want to be like the lead singer in a fairy metal band now. I also like the dwarven metal. Like, someone shared that's been going around Facebook, dwarven metal. I'm like, yep, there's a side of me when I'm gaming that I basically always play a female dwarf. So, dwarven metal is like awesome. And I love the fairy metal too. Like, that is really pretty sounding. I'm like, yes, this is me. Yeah, so those are, but I listen to like all sorts of music, like, and I'll dance to anything. So, like, I listen to pop, rock, I like classic rock a lot. There's a lot of classic rock. My parents raised me on Ian Anderson because I'm a flute player. Jethro Tull and playing that, and being able to sing through the flute is pretty freaking sweet. So I listen to all sorts of stuff. I'll even listen to a little bit of country. I get through on country kicks sometimes. It's like, what is this? But I like it. 9 is opinion on Marilyn Manson, and I'm like, oh, I freaking love Manson. I never really listened to his music until kind of recently, thanks to performing to it and dancing to it, because my mom's like, oh, he's too weird, he's too out there for you, or I don't want my kids seeing this, you're too young. And we kind of were at the time, even with his, well, it was like the 2000s, he didn't do a lot, I think, around that time, maybe, or there was stuff, but I was just too young for it, and it's just like, it wasn't my thing. I was like, I wasn't really that rebellious, I guess. Like, I didn't really rebel against my family that much. I listened to what I listened to, like AFI and stuff like that, but I didn't listen to really Manson. But now that I've actually listened to it and everything, I really like his older stuff. And I kind of want to give his newer stuff a chance and see if well, I've heard people don't really like it, but I might like it. I don't know. People have said that he sounds more pop-like in this the most recent album here that just came out, so I'll give it a try. Maybe I'll like it. I don't know. I think people probably don't like it because they're used to the old Manson, probably, and the new Manson is different, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Oh, and I like him as an actor. I think he should really be in more stuff acting. Like, apparently he was in that movie and he didn't have a big part. I didn't get to see it yet, but I think what I have seen of him acting and everything, I think he would be a super awesome actor. He should go into that, maybe with the music career being on its way out. And music's a hard business to be in nowadays anyways, so he should totally, like, think about getting into more acting, I think. I mean, shoot, if I ever do a film or something, maybe if I get the chance to cast him, I would totally freaking cast him, because he could really, really do a good job. I've given the proper chance, like the good writing and stuff that he needs. But and number 10, what were my baby bat days like? Well, I'm kind of in a way in my baby bat days now, so I am what I am like right now, but I don't think I've like really ever changed that much at the same time. I'm definitely dressing more visibly goth now. I'm out on my own, away from my parents and everything, away from anyone who might tell me no. So I dress goth now, and like kind of like motorcycle biker chick kind of now more too. And when I'm not goth, or that's like when I'm more normie, like I'm surprised. And it's funny because when I had my green hair, I got some crap from the biker community. We went to an event and I was getting kind of teased for my green hair, but they're like, it's cool. At least it was the colors of the club too, that like green was like one of their colors. Sorry, I have to have a drink here. Cranberry juice. Yeah, I got a little teased by like the biker community for having the green hair, and they're like, oh, that's really out there kind of thing. They're kind of like more conservative, not so like when I show up with this hair, they'll probably be like, whatever. Like, they'll leave me alone. But even though I have like dark makeup, but I do my eyes like this and everything. I really like how like the white turned out here. I found I have a eye pencil that's like the one that Black Friday used, and I was like, ah, in her tutorial I was like, yes, I have this, so it works. It doesn't really stay on though. I might find something that stays on better in my waterline. But I'm getting off topic. Basically, like, in my baby bat days, back in school, my friends and I, we were like the nerds that kind of pulled off cool. We were band geeks, but we were like creative and artsy types, musical types. That's kind of who we were. So everyone thought it was really cool what we were doing. Usually, like, they'd see our art around the school or something, and they'd see what we were doing, and they're like, cool, you're not like. As soon as they saw that we weren't like making anyone's life more difficult or being bullies, like, they were cool with us. Like, it was surprising for like a small like country bunking kind of area that I came from, where my high school was. Everyone kind of had their place, and there was like, yeah, everyone had their clique, and we were just one of them. So we were just a clique, so a group of friends that like all kind of dressed and acted weird and stuff, and everyone left us alone. There's a lot of weirdness when you're in like middle school, high school, so. And then by senior year, everyone gets along with everyone. It was kind of weird how that happened. It's like you're all about to leave anyways, so what's it matter? Be nice to everyone. You know? Kind of like how Emily said at the end of her video. But like, we were weird for sure. We got asked a lot of questions like, does wearing a corset hurt? Not really. Not unless you're wearing it the wrong size. But things like that, or like, why do you dress up like that? Because we want to, because it looks cool, because we want to look this way. Like, same way I'd answer anyone else, and then like when I'm so like nonchalantly about it, like, nah, because I wanted to, people are like, oh, okay. It's not like I say because I'm in the dark arts and Satan, hail Satan, and everything like that, no. Although I do consider myself a sympathizer for Lucifer, because God kind of had to tell him to be the bad guy, but that's just my beliefs. But yeah, that's my goth tag, and I figured I'd do that, and I'll post Emily's link to her channel below. Go check her out, help her out, she's awesome. She actually had Voltaire on her channel, and slowly I want to like be on Voltaire's channel and like talk garden and stuff, and goth garden, because I totally want my own goth garden. Well, I don't have one right now. I had one, I was starting one with my ex, but had to leave it, and hopefully once I get a house here, I'll start a garden again. And well, if Voltaire would have me on, heck, I would like help him put together his own, and maybe teach him how to maintain his own goth garden. That would be cool. Like at some point I need bat flowers and hellebore and things like that. Pretty things. Pretty dark things. Alright, that's it. Bye!